Welcome to Science with Nature Jack at Home, a series of very exciting science videos that you can watch me do or you can do with your children at home to get children excited about science. This is Nature Jack. Hi, this is Nature Jack, and today is Earth Day 2020. And you can watch this video on any day of the year. It doesn't have to be Earth Day, but here it is, our beautiful Earth that we're situated on. And speaking of Earth, I'd like to show you some Earth. This is some earth from the ground. I actually dug this up this morning. You can see this is dirt, otherwise known as earth. And what is dirt made of that comes out of the ground? It's mostly made of broken bits of tiny pieces of rocks. So when you rub it between your fingers, it feels gritty. And what is gritty? Well, gritty is a type of texture. And today's lesson is all about textures. Texture. So what are textures? Everything you touch has a texture. So today we're going to do a lesson about textures. So before we start learning about textures that are outside, I'd like you to ask your children to feel their hair. Their hair should feel soft. Soft is a texture. And if you feel your arm is probably smooth. So smooth is a texture. Now let's look at some things that you can find outside in nature. This morning I cut off 3 pieces of different evergreen trees. And 2 of these are soft and smooth, and 1 of them is prickly and rough. So this one right here is actually soft and kind of smooth when you feel it. This one has long pine needles. It's very, very soft. When you feel it, it's also smooth. And this one is actually prickly and actually kind of hurts when you feel it. It's bumpy and prickly. So those are 3 different kinds of textures in nature. Does anybody remember when we made our birdseed bird feeders and we used birdseed? So birdseed is actually grainy and bumpy, and some people might actually think it's smooth. So when you feel it, it feels grainy. And grainy is a word that describes its texture. And when you feel birdseed and drop it on the ground, the birds and the squirrels will get to enjoy it after I'm done my video. Now we're going to talk about some things that are inside your house that have texture. So if you go into your pantry or you're somewhere in your kitchen, you're probably going to find a jar of honey. Honey is made by bees. And what is honey? Ask your children what honey feels like when they touch it. What is the texture? The texture of honey is always sticky. When you put it on your fingers and you pull your fingers apart, it feels very sticky. And then if you're lucky, your parents might let them eat it. Here's an orange from your house. An orange is obviously always orange. When you feel it very closely, it feels kind of bumpy. Depending how you touch an orange, it also might feel smooth to some of your children. Let them feel an orange and see if it's smooth or bumpy. Let them decide. Here's another piece of fruit, a ripe banana. A banana is always smooth. No matter how you feel it, it always feels smooth. Smooth is the texture of a banana. Here's one more piece of fruit, a juicy ripe apple. And you know, no matter what color apple it is, it always feels smooth. So smooth is the texture of all apples, whether they're green, yellow, or purple.
You forgot red.
I meant red. Here's another thing from your kitchen, actually jelly. If you feel jelly, you stick your hand inside jelly or your fingers, you know it's going to feel sticky and mushy. Those are the textures of jelly. And let your children stick their fingers inside and taste it. We use this in our birdseed bird feeders. It's actually shortening. If you have shortening at home, you can take out some of the shortening and feel it. It feels slimy and also kind of smooth and soft. Those are the textures of shortening. If you go into your bathroom, you'll probably find bars made out of metal. Metal is always feeling cold because metal is a conductor of heat or temperature. And when you touch metal, it always feels smooth and it usually feels cold. In your house, in your child's bedroom, are probably some stuffed animals. Stuffed animals always feel soft. This is a stuffed animal of a fox. Here is a little one of an elephant, kind of a funky little elephant. Always feels soft when you put it on your face. And here's a sea turtle. And a sea turtle is very appropriate because today is Earth Day, and sea turtles are endangered species in the ocean. So we want to protect our turtles and celebrate their lives on Earth Day. Oh, it feels so soft. You might have a paintbrush in your basement or in your pantry room. Paintbrushes are usually soft. Sometimes they're hard or rough. This one is actually very soft. I also have some sandpaper. Sandpaper actually comes in different colors. So I have red and purple here, and sandpaper is very, very rough. It's one of the best examples of texture that's rough. You put it on your face, it feels very rough. You can actually scratch your face. That's the texture of sandpaper. Here's a blanket. Blankets are always soft and cuddly and warm. Those are the textures to describe blankets. Anyway, these are the textures I wanted to talk about today in my Science of Textures video. Here's the earth. Let's be kind to it on Earth Day. Let's go out and feel the ground. It's cold and grainy, and you can enjoy feeling nature, feel the textures of nature, feel the textures in your house, feel the textures everywhere. This is Nature Jack, and thanks for watching my textures video on Earth Day 2020.